Klaus finished 6th in the world last season with Root Rider Valk spam, but he wasn't bringing the Druid with his army, and let's have a look what his attacks look like without it. Here is a classic Legends League ring base. There isn't a double invis, but we see the double poison setup. So what does Klaus do with Root Rider Valk spam? He has a king and queen on one side of the funnel, then he has the siege barracks, Ice Golem, and RC on the other, and then we come straight through the middle with our actual Root Rider spam army. So you're going to see here, he is taking a lot of damage early, but you just pop that Warden ability. The Healing Tome is going to bring all your troops back to life. We have the king setting a great funnel on the right hand side with the queen behind him. The RC is already into the core of the base, and look at this, we're not using the Overgrowth spell because we're only bringing one of them. We're not using it until we have to. When you're bringing 2 Overgrowth, you can afford to get the first one down quite early, but when you're only bringing one, there really is no rush. And then you'll see out of his CC, Klaus brings 4 Super Hooks because they're going to charge up, run over any walls if they aren't opened, unlike the Valks that you often see with this army, and they're going to get in front and tank for the Royal Champion. They're doing a great job here. You see the first Overgrowth ends, and we've still got the Queen ability, we've still got the Royal Champion ability, a Rage, and 4 freeze spells. Yes, we still have so many freeze spells in hand. You want to save those for finishing off the base. Perfect freeze there, and this base is going to get wrecked in 1 minute and 31 seconds, I believe it was. He probably could have got it wrecked quicker if he popped the RC and Queen ability earlier, but yeah, who needs hero abilities? Who needs freeze spells? Use Root Rider spam like Klaus and you'll get success. One of the best bits of advice I could give you when you're doing Root Rider spam is if you see the CC on the outside of the base, pull it. Yes, it will cost you time, so if you're in a World Championship tournament, you might not want to do this, because obviously time is important for that. But if not, if you're in Legends League, there is no rush. Pull the CC out, use your archers and your super barbs that you've got with the army, and look at this, dealing with this triple ice golem for free. Think of how detrimental triple ice golems are, especially if we just spam straight into this, because this is where Klaus is going to come in from. If we had a triple ice golem here, that would outlast our Warden ability, and we might be in a whole lot of trouble. You'll see how valuable it is in a second, because this attack isn't an overkill. So we got the siege barracks with an ice golem and likely the Royal Champion on the bottom side as well. He's yet to deploy the Royal Champion. Then the king and queen on the top side setting a great funnel. There you go. There's the Royal Champion coming in on the bottom. And look, we use the Warden ability. Get a lot of our troops healed up through this tough area of the base. I mean, imagine how tough this would have been if we were dealing with the triple ice golem CC whilst this was all going on. It would be a big fat fail. The Royal Champion on the no, she's come into the center, but hopefully she goes off to the right hand side, and she does. You see the Town Hall activates here, and that's when we use the Overgrowth. We don't want to go through the Town Hall poison effect until the very end of the attack. Unfortunately, our queen's doing a little bit of a wraparound here, but that's okay. But look at this. I'm going to pause this for a second. I'm sorry. There's like, what, 1.5 Root Rider, like 1 low health Root Rider, 1 half health Root Rider. There's not too many troops over here aside from the Super Hogs and the Royal Champion, and the King's by himself. And yet this is going to end up being a 3-star attack. And this might be the annoying thing about showing these attacks from you guys at home, because obviously Klaus has max equipment. Thankfully, it's only 1 epic equipment, which is the Gauntlet, and the Gauntlet's insane at all levels, but this is probably why it is a bit annoying for a lot of you at home, because you're like, well, I can't clean up the base this well because I don't have max equipment. And yeah, I get it, but Root Rider Valk spam, I mean, I think you still could have tripled this. Look at it. He has all of his heroes up but his king. I think you could have tripled this without the max level hero equipment. Just shows the power of heroes in the game. It's a little lopsided, isn't it? How quick do you think this attack is? 1 minute 18, 1 minute 17, and we have the siege barracks come down. Now, Root Rider spam, it is a spam army. It can be a bit brainless if you want it to be, but Klaus does not do it in that manner, and that's what I like. Look at this. We are not sending the king with the queen this time, because look, the king would get no value with the queen. All we need the queen to do here is snipe out the town hall. So if we don't need the king with the queen, send him in the core of the base. Let's maximize that gauntlet ability. So great Warden ability there. We get through the rage tower, and then have a look at this Overgrowth. Perfect. We get Ricochet Cannon, we get Monolith, Inferno, but we don't get the Town Hall because the Queen is going to snipe that on her own. See, the Royal Champion, who came in quite early on the bottom side, is doing great work, as is the Lizard. Have a look at the Lizard here. Deals with the defensive CC Dragon on its own. Now, there's something I want to talk about here. Have a look at these 2 Ice Golems. So Klaus does bring 2 Ice Golems with this army, but they don't really do a whole lot, honestly. He deploys them late. Now, this Ice Golem will freeze nicely here, so yeah, maybe it's helping once the Overgrowth ends, but that is 30 troop space. As you see, the other one gets sprung here. That's 30 troop space that really didn't do anything this whole battle when the battle was up to be won. They did stuff once it was already tripled, but we didn't need it to at that point, and that's 30 troop space that I have an idea that he can better use. How would I use that 30 troop space? Well, we would do the army kind of like the rank 1 player does the Root Rider spam. If you haven't seen that video, we'll link it above here, because the rank 1 player brings 2 Druids with their Root Rider spam army. Now, don't get me wrong. I can understand why Klaus does bring the Ice Golems, but he's never deploying them first. He's not often having them go off in the first compartment. They're kind of being used on the back end of the base, right? So surviving for as long as possible, because look, we're crushing the core of this base. There is 2 Rage Towers in there, and both of our Ice Golems are on the bottom side of the base. I mean, you can see them there. They're not really doing much. Whereas if you had the Druids with this army, they would be healing the troops a lot better. You could still bring the Healing Tome. Obviously, the Healing Tome is amazing with Root Riders, but I think this army would be better. Drop the 2 Ice Golems. You might have to drop 1 Super Barb or a couple of Archers, and then bring those 2 Druids, and I think that is the best Root Rider spam army, in my opinion. Feel free to disagree. Let me know down in the comments. Do you think Root Rider spam is better with the Druids? You can see this base is completely wrecked, but yet again, neither of our Ice Golems have gone off till right about now. Nope, they still haven't. Completely swagged. Whereas with the Druids, you know you're going to get a lot of healing value with it. But there you go. There's Klaus's Legends League attacks. He finished 6th in the world. If you want to see more of Klaus's Legends League attacks, we'll link that on the left.